One of the most common questions that I get asked a lot is, are you thinking of becoming an attorney? Do you want to go to law school? What's your plan? There's a lot to get used to, and at first it was really overwhelming, and there's still a lot that I'm learning every single day. When you're starting to feel like you're finally coming out of that storm, it just feels really nice to feel like yourself again. Good morning and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Icie and I'm so happy to have you here. I feel like it's been forever since I picked up the camera and caught up with you guys. Not gonna lie, I have just been living my life and kind of taking a step back from YouTube and just really focusing on my own healing journey. And there's been a lot that's happened the past few weeks, and I always say this, but I think now I've come to terms that it's just not realistic for me to stick to a consistent upload schedule. I try and upload at least once or twice a week, but honestly, I'm not gonna say anything because, as you guys have probably noticed, there's been a few missed uploads, and that's just because life has been really crazy lately. But I am really excited to be back vlogging. I'm going to be doing a day in the life as a legal assistant because I only have filmed one legal assistant video for all of 2023, and I think that was my first day back as a legal assistant. And so there's definitely been some updates, there's definitely been a lot of changes, how I feel has changed, but we're in good spirits, and I'm hoping to update you guys also on what's been going on in my life. I'm really excited to be back. I have been feeling really motivated lately and really excited about my career, which I haven't felt in a while after everything that happened in the beginning of the year. So it feels really good to feel like my old self again. So we're just gonna go back to the basics. I'm gonna show you a day in the life as a legal assistant, like I said, from start to finish, from my morning all the way until I get home. I don't have my own individual office space, which I mentioned in my last work vlog, so you guys aren't going to be seeing as much of like my office necessarily, but I will be talking you guys through it and showing bits and pieces here and there where I can show it. And it's really sad, but my camera is on the last stretch and I don't know where the charger is, so that's kind of an issue that I'm gonna have to deal with later. But anyway, I am going to head to work. Also, I got a new work bag. Isn't that really cute? It's just this beige tote bag. But as for now, let's go ahead and head to work and have a great day. Lunch, I stopped and got a little coffee pick-me-up from Starbucks. I actually had a gift card that I hadn't used yet, which was a nice little surprise in my wallet when I went. So this was a nice little treat for myself. And I got the tall iced white mocha with no whipped cream. I tend to like sweeter drinks, and so this one just really hits the spot. And I think I might have gotten this also during my last work vlog. I can't remember, but it tastes really similar. So I think there's a reason why I ordered it again. But today has been overall pretty busy. I thought that I would take some time to also update you guys all on how my new role has been. I'm still a legal assistant, but since the time that I last did a work vlog, a lot has changed. It's been a few weeks now that I've been in this role, so I figured I would do a little bit of a life/career update. So when I first started as a legal assistant, I was in onboarding, and right now I would say I'm more in trial prep and case initiation. So there's a lot more, I feel like, involvement in the sense that I'm filing complaints and working with expert witnesses, and there's just a lot more moving parts. There's a lot to get used to, and at first it was really overwhelming, and there's still a lot that I'm learning every single day, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm even going to be staying in this specific department. I may go back to onboarding, but I don't want to say too much about that because I'm not even sure yet what I'm gonna decide. But I spoke to my manager the other day, and basically she was going to let me decide where I feel like I was the best fit, and so I'm still deciding that. And it's been a process because, as you guys know, starting anything new, there's always that learning curve, and I feel like something that I've always been very transparent about in my legal assistant journey is that I'm always my own worst critic. And so whenever I'm dealt with something new, I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself to do it well, and I never want to let anyone down. And I was starting to feel that way in the beginning, where I started doubting myself and feeling like I couldn't handle it. But now that it's been a few weeks, I'm deciding whether or not this is something that I want to stay in, or if I want to go back to what I was doing when I first started as a legal assistant. So there's a lot to think about. I don't have to make a decision today, but probably by the end of the month, about where I want to be permanently. And obviously I don't want to have to keep changing my mind, but I am really grateful that I have the option to choose where I want to go and which department I want to stay in, just because now that I've gotten in the groove, I'm kind of considering staying here, but I also feel like the workload is more manageable in onboarding where I was before. So there's a lot to think about. Besides that, I have done a lot of self-reflection, and I opened up about in the beginning of the year how I was going through a lot of really big life changes. I showed you guys a little bit of that in my vlogs, but something that I don't think I was openly honest about was how unsure of myself like that I felt, because I think when you're going through a lot of change, sometimes you don't have a lot of mental or emotional capacity for other things and to have goals. And in the beginning of the year, I was definitely in survival mode, in the sense that I was just trying to process my emotions, and I didn't really have a lot of space for other people or even to think about what I wanted to do long term with my career. And now that there's been significant time since then, I'm starting to feel like my old self again. I'm starting to find the motivation again, and I'm starting to get really excited about my future and my career, and that's just an uplifting feeling that I haven't felt in a while. I think anyone who's struggled with depression or who's been in a season of their life where they're feeling really down, and then when you're starting to feel like you're finally coming out of that storm, it just feels really nice to feel like yourself again. And so I think that's also why I know why that's why I took a huge step back from YouTube and creating, because I just wasn't in the mental space for that. And now that things are starting to turn around and I'm feeling better internally, and I've taken the time to really focus on my mental health and do therapy, I am feeling excited again. And so just wanted to provide a quick little mental health update on that end, because that's something that I always try to be transparent about on my channel and share that in case anyone else is going through something similar. It's okay to not always feel like your most productive, motivated self. I've definitely been through seasons of my life where I'm all about grinding and I'm all about my career, and I am just in that headspace and I have that capacity to dedicate that time to those things. But other times it's very much a season of healing and I think inner work, which is what I had to do these past few months. But I feel excited to get back into it, and I'm gonna take the rest of my lunch to go on my daily walk, which is something that still hasn't changed even through all of the ups and downs of this season of my life. That's something that I have stuck to, is going on a nice little daily walk. And so I think I'm gonna do that for the last, like 20 minutes that I have from my lunch. So I'm gonna take my iced coffee, go on a nice walk. The weather has also been really, really nice lately, which is amazing, because there was a month at least here in San Diego, where it was just raining so much. And I know that's not that uncommon in other places, but it's just nice to have, nice weather, and it's starting to feel like summer. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that, and then we will continue on with the rest of the day. We're almost halfway, we're about halfway through the workday, which is really nice. I feel like after lunch, things just go by so much faster. So that's really, really nice when you look up and it's already like 5 p.m. Another thing that I've been working a lot on lately is trying to find a new roommate, which I'll update you guys about that, I think, after work. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about what my housing situation is like. Go ahead and go for our walk and enjoy some of this sunshine outside. Got home from work and I didn't stay too long after hours just because I am having someone look at the apartment tonight around 7:30. She lives really close by actually to the apartment complex, so I asked if she wanted to visit the place and she agreed. So I mentioned in the last clip, or at least in the car, that I am looking for a new roommate. So I went back and forth whether or not I wanted to stay in this apartment, because if you guys have been around for a while, then you know that at the beginning of this year, I went through a breakup. So I was kind of thinking on whether it was the best thing for me to stay here. And originally I had thought that I would want to definitely move out because this was the place that we had originally shared. But after a lot of thinking, and also I feel like getting into a routine, I have come to the realization that I have fallen in love with this place and just also the location of it. I feel like the location is very central, and also I think this is just my personality type, but I really thrive off of routine, and if I don't need to change my routine and my circumstances, then I prefer not to, just because change in general gives me a lot of anxiety, which I'm working through. But I decided that I am going to renew the lease for at least a year, and then a year from now, you know, we'll take it from there. Something else that I wanted to talk about with you guys, since this is a work-related legal assistant vlog, are my thoughts on law school. So one of the most common questions that I get asked a lot is, are you thinking of becoming an attorney? Do you want to go to law school? What's your plan? And I've said this before, that I have oscillated back and forth between whether or not I want to pursue law school and actually become an attorney, or if I want to stay within the legal field and be a part of it, but not be a lawyer necessarily. But today I had a really interesting conversation with one of my coworkers. He is a paralegal, and he was talking about how having work experience prior to going to law school is actually really helpful, and it makes the experience not only more enjoyable, but it also helps you be more prepared for law school because you're already within that field and you already have that work experience. So I have been in the legal field now, let's say like roughly 2 years, give or take. I was a legal intern before I was a legal assistant, and I've been with this company now for about a year and a couple months. So altogether, I want to say my legal experience is a little less than 2 years, about 2 years. And so this is my rough plan, okay? Obviously, this is subject to change because if you know me, then I change my mind a lot, but this is kind of what I'm thinking tentatively as like my 5-year plan, but who knows if this will actually come to fruition. My goal right now is to stay at this law firm and gain as much experience as I can. I am in employment law, which I think is a really interesting field to be in because there's so many moving parts. It like every day is different. You're not always dealing with the same cases, and it's just super interesting to me. So I definitely know that I have a passion for employment law. I do enjoy what I do as a legal assistant. And so my plan is to stay within the legal field and just continue to grow as a legal assistant. I think something that I want to take advantage right now is the fact that I work at a law firm, and I want to focus on building and cultivating those relationships with the attorneys and higher ups, not just to get my foot in the door, but also just because I think it makes your work experience more enjoyable when you can have a connection with the people that you work with. So I'm thinking that. And see, this is the part where I'm saying it's subject to change, but my tentative plan, let's just say, is that maybe around 25, 26 is when I will consider going to law school, maybe. Again, I don't know where my headspace will be at that time because that's like 2 to 3 years down the line, but that's what I'm thinking. And it makes me excited because I mentioned also in my last video how when I was dealing with a lot in the beginning of the year, I wasn't really thinking about goals or like my future career, not because I didn't want to, because I've always been a very goal-oriented person. I've always considered myself very ambitious, but just because I was dealing with so much in my personal life, I felt like I had no motivation and no enthusiasm for thinking about those types of things, like long-term goals. But now that I've been able to process and heal from that really traumatic period in my life, I think now I'm starting to think about how I want my future to be. I'm just taking it day by day. That's what I'm thinking. So who knows, maybe in the future you guys will see vlogs about me going to law school. I'm not gonna speak too prematurely on that, but that is something that I am considering. So we will see how that unfolds over the years. But anyway, I think I'm going to chill out for a little bit and then catch up with you guys later in the evening when I make dinner. Usually after work, I like to go on my phone a little bit or just kind of relax. So I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm getting hungry too as well, so probably make dinner. So I've decided that I'm going to make myself a taco bowl. It's not going to be the most exciting taco bowl, to be honest, because all I have is rice, cheese, a little bit of beans, refried beans that I made from yesterday, and ground beef. But it's something, and I also have to use up this rice, so I'm going to do that and then put Cholula on it. But yeah, we're just doing a very simple kind of throw it all together type of dinner. Sometimes that's the way it is, and sometimes I'm really lazy to cook, so this is what we're working with. News. So the apartment viewing went well. Still haven't confirmed anyone. There's been quite a few people who have looked at, oh, didn't realize the lighting was bad over there, but there's been quite a few people who have looked at the apartment. I got a lot of leads from my last Facebook post that I did. Like I said, I still haven't found my roommate, but I'm feeling pretty hopeful and optimistic. I also started this process intentionally 2 months early, just in case, as you guys know, there's like last minute changes or people back out. Sometimes it can take a while to find someone that obviously meets the requirements to apply at my leasing office, but also just in general, like it's a good fit and they're not any suspicious people. But I'm feeling hopeful about that. I think I'm honestly going to just chill out for the rest of the night, do my nighttime routine, skincare, relax, and just kind of take you guys through my night, and then we'll be pretty much done for the day. Honestly, nowadays, I am in bed by like 11 p.m. So let's go ahead and do our nighttime routine and then also change out of these work clothes. That sounds nice. Shower and did my skincare routine. I always feel so nice just taking the day off and jumping into some comfy clothes. But for the rest of the night, I'm actually going to start editing this vlog. I want to start posting more consistently, hopefully, now that work has kind of slowed down a bit, in the sense that I feel like I know what I'm doing now. Not necessarily that the workload has lesson, but now I just feel more confident in what I'm doing in like the day-to-day tasks. So hopefully that will help me be able to get more content out there. I am planning to do more of a like sit down video, like my chats with Icie video. I just don't know yet what I want to talk about because there's so many different topics that are on my mind. But if there's a specific topic and any video ideas that you guys want to see more of, feel free to drop a comment down below. I always try and respond to you guys, or you could also DM me on my Instagram, and I go on there pretty frequently to keep in touch with you guys. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We're also so close to 1,000 subscribers, which is really, really exciting because I remember when I first started this YouTube channel, I had I think 10 people watching, and most of them were just my family and friends. So it's really cool to think about where we started and how some of you have been here since the beginning. So hoping to hit that milestone within the next few months or so. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this work vlog. I hope you have a great rest of your morning or evening wherever you're watching this, and I will see you very soon in another video, hopefully. Bye!